has to be in new layers. I am not painting anything on this background. This background should remain locked. The lock button is right here on the screen. See the lock symbol? If I have this highlight, if I have my background highlighted, I need to make sure that that lock symbol appears there. So I do nothing to the background. I'm going to separate you two. My gigglers back there. Create a new layer just by hitting this button down here. The new layer button, blank layer, that's where I'll put my first painting. I can either just use the brush, or I can use the polygonal lasso tool to first create my shapes. I'll show you two ways to do both. If I want to just use my polygonal lasso for this, because it's hard edges, I will just create the shapes, and they can be a little bigger than I need them to be because I can use my layers to move this back in space. So now I have that section picked. I'm going to use the dropper tool. This is a new tool for you guys to select my color. It looks like a little dropper. It's the eyedropper tool. What this does is if I just click and hold and move it around, do you see how the top color changes? That's the color I'm picking. So I need to decide which color in this space is most prevalent.
That one.
Yeah, around there. So I'll pick that. Then I'll go to my brush tool and brush it in. Oh, I still have it as a low opacity from when I was doing shadowing. And there's my first part of the underpainting. After that, you can just hit Command D, or you can go to Select, Deselect. We'll get rid of whatever you have selected. Now I need to make a new layer on top of that one. Now I'm going to do the water. I'll also use the polygonal lasso tool. I don't need to be perfect with my edges. I can overpaint a little bit. Use the brush tool. Select my blue. I may want to do this in two different tones of blue because I have the lighter blue up here and the darker blue down here. I'll start with just one tone, then I can add a second tone if I need to. If I paint this in, the problem I now have is that that's on top of my patio, but the patio should be in first. So all I have to do is move my layers. And it puts the water behind it. Everybody get the gist of this? If you want to use the brush tool, you can utilize just the brush tool. You can use the polygonal lasso tool to create your outlines. For example, think of the buildings I showed you in Victoria's painting. The lines need to be really sharp. Polygonal lasso tool makes more sense. The lines for these two objects needs to be really sharp, but the lines here don't have to be as sharp. So maybe I'm just going to select my color for this golden background, go to my brush tool, make my brush a specific height, and then I make a new layer. I almost did it without making a new layer.
I was about to say something.
And then I can just start painting in this. You can be a little more detailed than I'm being right now. You do not need to be this broad. You can make bigger brushes, smaller brushes. Consider this wisp up here. All of this detail, though, in here is what I'm going to add with the detailing next week. For now, I just need to get the underpainting. The way I'm doing this is extremely broad, right? And again, that should probably come below my water because I want that hard line there. So you see I'm just moving that layer behind this layer, fixes that line there. So I already have a portion of my underpainting done here. For you guys, I do not want you being quite this broad. So this pool, I would suggest you guys do in 2 or 3 different colors, rather than trying to do that in one color. This gold here, I would try to do that gold in 3 or 4 different tones for your underpainting. For the trees, probably 5 or 6 different colors for the underpaintings. And do a big blob of red there for that tree. Big blob of orange there for that tree. For the sky, I would do 5 or 6 different tones. I would do, a blue here, a pinkish color there, that blue again over here, some white up here. Play around with the different colors to get as accurate a colored underpainting as you can. Alright, you guys have a little over an hour to work on this today. I want you guys to source your images, and I want you guys to start this under